Hello, I'm Jon McCullough. Jon D. McCullough is the name for my books. I wrote this book here, 2020 Evangelism. And today I'm doing tip 2 of how to write your book. We already went over being inspired to write your book, tell your story, and then we went over the tip 1, which was the last video, which described how to answer the question, what's the purpose of your book? What's the purpose? What's the meaning of it? Why do you want to write it? What do you want to accomplish with it? You know, answering those key questions to figure out where you're going with this thing. And I want to say congratulations. First of all, it's pretty brave to go out and put yourself out there and put your information, because you are vulnerable to people. But you have to be confident. You have to go out and do that. So I've written the one book that is nonfiction about soul winning. I'm a pastor, so it's always been on my heart as a Christian and a believer to win souls. And then I wrote the 6 other books that are fiction books, and they were just things I loved. I like creating. I like mystery. So you have to ask yourself, what kind of book do I want to write? There's a lot of options: children's books, nonfiction, fiction. There's how-to books to cook or whatever like that. Those are popular. There is short stories. There's poems. You have to ask yourself, what type of material am I going to get out there? And of course, you had to answer the last video's question first. What's the purpose of it? I'll tell you, just for me personally, I wanted to tell a story in my first book, Dulapa. I wanted to tell a story about me and what happened in my life when they thought I was an undercover drug agent and I almost got killed. So I told that story, and then I wrote a second one, a companion book with that, what happened afterwards, called Dulapa, Prince's Revenge. And then my personal way, there's no wrong or right. That's the thing. There's not like this is the one way you do it. There's your way, and that's how you're doing it. And no one could say, you're not doing it right. You shouldn't do 3 books. You shouldn't do 2 books in a series. You shouldn't do just 1 book. There's no wrong or right. There's just whatever you choose to do. And you release your creative powers out there, and for the world to see, to entertain, or to teach, or to inspire, or whatever it is, or just to make people laugh. All right, those are all great reasons to write a book. Now, I personally wanted to do Christian thriller, suspense type books, because there was a market out there, I thought, that people needed to do that, and I thought it was easier for someone to read a book like that than perhaps the Bible if they're lost. And you could kind of develop characters and tell the story along the way. So that's my story. But whatever it is, here's a few keys to finding your genre, finding your way, your path. Is usually trust your instincts. Usually you have something in mind, go with it. Don't go against it. If you already have something in mind you've been thinking about, go with that idea. All right. Another one is embrace it thoroughly. If it's nonfiction, embrace it thoroughly. If it's fiction, embrace it. Just be all in about it. And there's no one. Don't let anyone look down on you and say, "Well, that's not really going to be selling a lot of books." Who cares? It's not about selling a lot of books. And if it is, go for it. But if it's about you releasing your creativity and being that well-rounded person who's done all they can for the Lord, and not being forgotten in a sense of what God has done in your life. So you shine God with a long-lasting, leaving something, part of you that people can hold on to. And it's not about you, it's about Jesus. But for me, that's the thing. But if you're not a believer and you're watching this video, I don't judge you at all. I will talk just about writing, and I have no problem with that, because I love writing. I love talking to writers, and I love hearing their stories, actually. So, because I like to we all learn from each other. So basically, I hope that helps you. Feel comfortable in what you choose. Go with your instincts. Embrace it completely. And the future videos, what we're going to talk about is how to map your book out, making chapters, developing characters, you know, how to balance certain ideas, what's too much, what's crossing the line. Anyways, so all these things are coming. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you embrace your path: fiction, nonfiction, children, kids, adults, thriller, suspense, whatever. But just write. Love writing, release, and do it with joy, and let it be a joy. Let your creative outlet be a joy. All right, be super blessed. This is Pastor Jon McCullough. Check out my books if you want. Jon D. McCullough. Online, it's Jon, not John. And be totally blessed today.